Hello, Weekend Crafter! Welcome back to the Craft Time Studio. I'm Ange, and for today, I just want to share with you a short tutorial on my favorite ways to condition hard and crumbly clay. I have a lot of old crumbly clay, and because of clay shortage, I really want to make sure that none of my clay goes to waste. Please note that these are my favorite ways of conditioning. I'm sure other clay crafters will also have their own preferred way, so do check out the links that I will share below. For purposes of being consistent, I will use this Fimo Accents clay in green glitter in all of my experiments. As you can tell, this clay crumbles to the touch, which is a clear indication that it is very old clay. I want to make it usable again, and to do this, let's try the classic way, which is just to condition your clay. I first use my own finger's warmth, and then I pass the clay through the pasta roller. I normally set my roller into the thinnest setting just to really press the crumbs together. You really need a lot of patience for this kind of conditioning, so don't be deceived by the fact that I'm speeding up the entire video in conditioning this clay. It actually took a long time for the clay to stick together and be malleable. My test to see if the clay is already conditioned enough is to roll it out into a ball or into a log. The pro of doing this method is you're not actually adding anything to your clay. The con is that it will take a bit of time as well as some arm work. The second way that I like to do is to add a bit of soft translucent clay. This will make it easier for the dry crumbly clay to stick together, to get the clay to be workable. Run it through the pasta machine again until the clay doesn't come apart. The pro of using this method is that it takes less time to condition the clay. The con is if you are very specific in color, you might not like the subtle change that the translucent clay brings. Another con is that the clay might be too soft. If this is the case, simply put it into the refrigerator for a bit of time so that the clay can be easier to handle. Note that there will be a very slight color difference when we add translucent clay. While it might not be visible on cam, with your own eyes, you can tell that there is a very slight difference. The third way, and my current favorite way of softening clay, is hitting it with a hammer or a mallet. I have a small craft hammer, and I use this whenever I work with super hard clay. I cut my clay up and put it inside a plastic bag to keep all the crumbs together. And then I just pound on my clay until they stick together. It's also a great way of de-stressing. So I think that's really one of the reasons that I enjoy conditioning my clay this way. The pro of using this method is that again, it takes less time to condition your clay, which is ideal for someone like me who has wrist problems. The con is that you will have to have a small hammer, and you also have to have a surface that you can hit repeatedly. And the last way is to hit the clay with a hammer, but also to add a little bit of liquid Sculpey. I fold in the clay, and then I add a little bit of liquid Sculpey. This just speeds up the process of softening the clay. The con is that some of you may not have liquid Sculpey on hand, so it's another material that you need to have or purchase. Another con is similar to adding translucent clay, you might find that there is a slight deviation in color. The pro is that the time it takes to condition the clay is cut down. So these are all the 4 methods that I typically use. Simply conditioning the clay, adding translucent clay, hammering, and hammering with liquid Sculpey. Others will also recommend using a food processor, but since I don't have one of those, I didn't share it here. But I've heard that it's very helpful as well. So far, I have not yet encountered clay that could not be conditioned using these 4 methods. I hope that you learned something today, and of course, I hope that you're able to use your old clay. This is good for your wallet and good for the environment as well. Thank you for watching. Have a crafty weekend. Bye!